You're
No,
bitter.
who's priming?
Get ready.
You're bitter to the core.
I'm bitter to the core.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's rich coming from
Text
you.
you that, David.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the special meeting of the Inglewood Cliffs Mayor and Council meeting. Today is March 27th, 2024. It's time to 6:07. I have to call this meeting to order. Okay, and then let's have the pledge of the allegiance all together. I please
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Administrator, would you roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Park?
Here.
Member Kim?
Here.
Member Simon?
Here?
Member Luciano? Member De Gregorio?
Here.
Member Bagats?
Yes.
And Member Liang?
Okay, thank you. And I need a,
Motion to go into closed.
no, not yet.
Oh, not yet?
What is our statement?
Oh,
Okay,
got
would
it.
you,
Okay.
Administrator, please read the statement of compliance?
Sure. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Publics Meeting Law. Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, set forth the date, time, place, purpose of the public meeting for legal notice published in the record, posted on the borough website and bulletin board.
Okay, thank you for reading.
Thank you.
Okay, and then motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session. Second,
Okay.
roll call. Call the question. Call the question.
Point of order.
Call the question.
Remind Councilman De Gregorio that a point of order
No.
takes precedent over a motion.
Okay, we're gonna follow about our agenda rule.
Which agenda,
So,
Mr. Mayor? We've
We
had
have
this
the agenda here,
since
okay.
past
Let's go
days.
inside and.
Can we
Everybody can hear.
Yes.
So, good evening, everyone. As everybody's aware, we have two proposed parks that are going to be under construction. That's a subject of the bond ordinance tonight. One is Veterans Park and one is Woody Field. I think all of the governing body members are familiar with the plans that were prepared for both parks, and nothing has substantially changed. We have some handouts before you, a reduced size set of both parks. One is for veterans and one is for Woody. As you know, there's a basketball court proposed with pickleball courts. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So the basketball courts will be reconstructed at Veterans Park that incorporate portable pickleball nets, reconstructing sidewalk. The new playground entrance is going to be changed. I think all the governing body members are familiar with the plans that were handed out at the last meeting. We've got some changes to the sidewalk and some. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. The fencing, yes. I'm trying to get all the amenities. But it's going to be a brand new playground. Woody Field, the color handout that you have before you is basically the handout that the governing body looked at back in June or July of 2023. A lot of the major components of the park include redoing the playground, and you have the latest plans for that playground in front of you now. Redoing all three ball fields. The Little League field is going to be converted to a turf field, and it's also going to have sports lighting provided by Musco. There are going to be new dugouts and new ADA accessible bleachers for each of the fields. There's going to be a new dog park and reconfigured basketball court in the vicinity of the existing one. We're going to augment the park with some additional landscaping. And we're also going to increase the size of the pavement area in the vicinity of the field house to provide, plaza seating area that includes some chess tables, picnic tables, and areas where folks can gather after the games. If there are any questions about any of the amenities at any of the parks that you've seen along the way and that are listed on these final plans, I'd be glad to answer any questions that the governing body may have.
What's happening with the batting cage? I see the black down on your color diagram here, and it just says proposed reconstruct. Does that mean to reconstruct his batting cages, or because I'm hearing, naturally, as I hear everything else that has official to do with this government here on the street. So I'm just wondering what, because I don't get it through official channels, what's happening?
Nope, that's also included as part of the park. We're going to reconstruct the batting cages. We're going to provide 3 new batting tunnels.
2 new batting cages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Who will maintain the glass?
Say again?
The glass, who will maintain it? The glass?
The borough will maintain it.
The borough?
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. That's really up to the council. I shouldn't say that. That's up to the council. I'm a proponent of outsourcing it if need be, depending upon the abilities of the staffing that we currently have. So I jumped the gun in saying we would. You guys will decide how that should be maintained, but yes, it will need to be maintained.
There's also somebody, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's also, technically, I guess the answer is really the borough is going to be ultimately responsible, whether we put it out to someone to take care of it for us, or we assign it to the DPW. That's really, and I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Not a problem. So I just want to reiterate a few things from the last meeting that I had asked, which was timing. So we will shut down Woody Field in July. That's the recommendation of the committee and Little League, that works for them. Soccer will take place at the upper school. That's where they'll be playing, so that we don't lose the soccer season while we're renovating the park. Veterans Park was a matter of leave it open until Woody Field is done and then shut it down. Or we discussed as a committee that perhaps what we could do, because the basketball court is separate from the playground, is that once the when everything comes back and everything is in line, we allow them to move forward with the renovation of the basketball courts so that we could have, and that I'm told will take about a month. So we potentially could have it open, the basketball courts on the south side for the summer after we shut down Woody. So our recommendation as a committee is that if timing works out, and that's okay, that we should do that so that we can have the basketball courts renovated. And again, thank everybody and hope that you all vote in favor of this bond ordinance. It's been a long time, and I think this community really deserves to have this done.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
You mentioned that we're gonna have soccer throughout the school. Is
That I understand.
where do you get it? I mean, because it seems as though everything we do at the school we have to pay for. I mean, so I'm just curious as to who gave you that understanding and what's the cost to it, because we don't get anything for free from them. I mean, when we use the school, we pay for security, we pay for cleaning, we pay for all this other stuff. So there is
you know
a
what?
cost.
Do I have the particular details? No.
Okay.
But if we want to have a soccer program and the school is going to charge, then maybe we have to
I
pass
just want to make
it
sure we know the
to the
details.
parents, or we're going to have to make other options. And we've done it in the past. We used to play off Johnson in that Inglewood field. So hopefully we can come up with something if we have to.
And I don't mean it to be adversarial. I know that everything that we have experienced here recently with outside people, it seems as though there's always, without it being nailed down. So that's why when you say that it's your understanding, I'd just like to know how it, is it your understanding from the Board of Education? Is your
No, it was my
understanding from something
understanding
here?
from Mr. Bavario, who I believe heard from, where is it?
Yeah, I spoke-
From Mark Sango.
Yeah, correct, from the rec director.
So.
And I'll get the details
Mark
for
Sango-
council
Mark
members.
Sango?
Yeah, but he works for the borough, so
He's
Mr.
not.
Barbario, who did Mark Sango said that the school board has approved this? Because coming from him, I don't know, no disrespect to him, but I mean, who has he been in communication with the school board?
We had a meeting at the school board with school board members, and we spoke about camp, we spoke about soccer.
Right, because they wanted to keep us out of camp too. Yeah.
And so I will get the details from Marco, exactly how he set up the soccer program, because early on, when I first got back here, he said that he would move soccer so that there wouldn't be an issue with soccer in the
Well,
fall.
they're gonna have to figure it out one way or the other. If we want to get our courts renovated, we have to figure out where soccer's going, but I don't think that should affect our
That's
schedule
not what's on
or
the
our
table
bond
right
ordinance.
now.
Yes.
No, I agree with you.
Again, thank you for hearing
Okay,
us
thank
out. And if you have any other questions, please.
Any more question? No one?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
may I propose that I'll ask that we move the second reading,
Yeah,
2024-01. So
And then
we can let
adoption
the,
of ordinance together.
what's that?
No, 11 item.
Can we go out of order and do the ordinance first? Or
Matthew, we need to close the public hearing first, right?
I don't think we have.
Well, so right now we've just heard
The
a
presentation,
presentation. So now I think what Councilman Di Gregorio is suggesting is that we open the public hearing on the 2024-01 ordinance on the bond referendum, since that's what we're talking about. So if any public wants to talk about that topic and that topic only, now would be the time to do so.
I make the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody, any opinion?
Anyone
From the public
No one seeing
on Zoom?
Zoom?
I don't have any hands up there.
Let's make sure they're understanding that this is open, this is a public hearing for the ordinance, to repair the parts and see if anybody wants to raise their hand before we just.
Okay, motion to close to the public.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then
Uh,
why don't you move on 11 adoption of,
May we take a vote on that now?
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
make a motion.
No, a motion to pass 2024-01 ordinance of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, amending ordinance number 2022-13, finally adopted September 14th, 2022, providing for various recreation improvements and appropriating $6,420,000, therefore, and providing for the issuance of $6,114,000 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs to finance the same. Motion,
Second, anybody?
Second.
Okay,
roll call.
roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Yes. Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano? Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Bagats?
Yes.
Member Liang? Okay, Mayor passes.
Okay, congratulations. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations to the Park Committee for all their work.
Yes.
What a load that you took out of, off. Well, it's not over yet, but it's a huge load that you took off of the council. And I think, I'm not speaking for myself, I'm tremendously grateful. And if anyone else wants to join, that'd be great.
I'd just like to say
Move on.
Thank you to all your hard work to the Park Committee. Thank you to our engineers for working with the Park Committee and getting this done. It's been a long, hard road, but I'm glad we finally got to where we need to be. So thank you very much.
Okay, motion to open public comment.
Thank you, everyone.
One
yeah.
second, please. Bernie, before you leave, on a personal note, Mr. Mayor, we just found out of the passing of John Casado, who was a member of the Boswell team for many years. And I'm truly heartbroken to hear that. He was a wonderful man and a great supporter of our town. So our deep condolences to Boswell, and please inform us of whatever information you have so that we can do something in his memory. Thank you, Bernie.
Thank you. Okay.
Passed away yesterday. It appears to
Wow.
be a
Wow.
heart attack. Today would have been his 80th birthday.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Keep him in your prayers.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you both.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
motion to open public comment. Noted there will be.
If we're going back to the agenda
Public.
order. So just normal public comment.
Yeah, public comment.
Yeah, second, motion to open to the public.
Yes, any second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anyone? Okay, the Karen Geiger over there.
Move. Okay,
Karen
can you
Geiger,
hear
yes.
me?
Yes,
Okay.
Sure can.
Hi, I just want to thank everybody for finally approving a new bond issue. I hope we will have new parks and the bids will come in as we expect. So we're moving right along. The question, I have two comments. One comment is, if Bernie is still there, can you tell us what's happened with the smoke study and the camera study of the sewers? It's over a year and we have, in the public, heard nothing about this matter.
Mrs. Geiger. He just left, Mrs. Geiger, so I'll be sure to send an email with the request, or maybe the borough administrator, but we will follow up on that. Good point. Very
Please,
good
it's been a long time. The second comment I have is about the bill list. I have received bills under Oprah for about Mr. Wunsch's bills. I have looked at them extensively, especially the January bill, which is the last one I received. And there is a continuing pattern in his bills reflecting 10 minutes charged to the borough every time he does anything, whether it takes 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, or the full 10. For example, you will see something which calls read email, 10-minute charge. Then right next to it, following it, is something that will say responded to email, another 10-minute charge. And it goes on and on and on. What I would ask is that the council table his bills from the bill list, table the review of them or the approval of them until the legal committee can review them and come up with an agreement as to how to properly bill the borough. Most attorneys, to my knowledge, bill in 6, not in 10-minute segments for any action. And that's what his bills seem to uniformly and consistently reflect. I'm also concerned about some other items on that bill, which I don't believe he was given responsibility for by Judge Farrington that he seems to have undertaken. So I would ask that the council table that bill. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone?
Quality of the audio there was.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, we can move on here. Anyone else? Okay,
Mary O'Shea, I have her
Mary
hand up.
O'Shea, yes.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm got a question about 24-105. As a member of the planning board, I know nothing about this request to designate an area in need of improvement, which happens to be Unilever's property. And I don't know what needs to be improved there. They just built a parking garage. They just built a whole big center of their building, a new community area where the people could sit on steps like and collaborate with each other.
Okay,
so I don't know.
okay, I will respond for you. We're gonna tabling this one tonight, so don't worry about it.
Okay, well, when you do bring it forward again, I hope you give us some information on it in advance because it's like out of the blue. Okay, and likewise, the introduction for the ordinance for a 5-year tax statement.
Yeah, that's also gonna to tabling tonight. So we're gonna further discuss about this one later on.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to give people a free ride on taxes. You know, we have a lot of big expenses coming up with the park and with the 800 Sylvan and lawsuits and everything else. I don't know how you can give anybody a tax abatement.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else? Are you?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see any hand up, Mayor.
Okay, no one is seeing and hearing. Okay, motion to close the public comment.
Second, motion to close the public comment and
Anyone second? All in favor?
aye.
Okay, and then,
Mr. Mayor, can I just?
okay.
Just as a comment to, Ms. Geiger, because I guess she did, she picks and chooses what the things she wants to hear and report on. But, I mean, Cole Schott sat right up here and said, and talked about their billing and said how everybody changes to a point, well, I think it's really not 10 minutes, but it's really a 0.1, I think is what Mr. Wunsch's bill is. And 0.1 is really 6 minutes, and she knows that, but, we play these games. And I think Cole Schott sat up here and said that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're wrong,
Can you
Mr.
mute her,
Luciano.
please? The public session's closed, there's no reason for her to talk.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Geiger either to talk, but can you please mute them? So
You're wrong.
The issue that I have is that, it's, you go from one, this Cole Schott sat here and said now they charge, by 10 minutes, as soon as they pick up the phone. So, and just a couple other things that I'd like to address because I was in this as well. That Ms. Geiger mentions last meeting about Mr. Wunsch's bill and attempted to discredit him and refers to Judge Farrington in his bill as being pristine. Okay, it's 100% false information because the Christine, you know who Christine is? Christine is Mr. Serenian's legal assistant. So pompous Ms. Geiger and her eye on the cliffs and her pompous statements that she makes at the meeting that are just hit pieces. So to clarify and to be honest with what the bill was really referring to, Ms. Geiger, is Christine at Mr. Serenian's lawsuit. I mean, his legal assistant. And, you know.
Why is he talking, excuse me, why is he talking to Mr. Serenian? Mr. Serenian is no longer employed by the,
Because if you look at the date of the bill, he was still employed,
Oh,
but you wouldn't know
oh, he
that,
was?
so you can defend
Okay,
Karen, but that's
all
the
right.
state of the fact,
Well,
okay?
well taken, thank you.
We
Just
also
making
talked
sure.
about, we talked about, you know, Miss Geiger, since I'm on Miss Geiger, you know, and the misinformation. She mentions in her political hit piece about, you know, coal shots, and this is directly related to me, so that's why I'm gonna refer to this as well, and I should be able to speak about it. She fails to inform the public that Cole Schatz was hired at $450 an hour in her Eye on the Cliffs, okay? $450 an hour, and me being upset about the rate, I made a motion to pay all of the attorneys the same rate. But in her hit piece, she tries to make it seem as though I was just favoring Mr. Wunsch. But what I was saying is that, just like with our attorney here, okay? I made a suggestion, so just so the record's clear, it was to pay all of the attorneys the same rate,
You said
not
Mr.
just Mr. Wunsch.
You mentioned Mr. Wunsch, if
Well, I
I
said,
recall.
because he's one of our attorneys, okay?
But you
Now,
didn't say all.
can I please, you can say whatever you want.
Okay, you, again, you.
Geiger
totally
also
correct.
stated Luciano and Simon tried to assign more work than Mr. Wunsch. This is partially true, but the fact of the matter is Luciano stated at the present time, we do not, this is referring to 910 and 940, who now applied for building at that property, which includes affordable housing, okay? So she says that, you know, I tried to assign Mr. Wunsch, and the fact of the matter is that these people have applied for building and affordable housing, and Mr. Wunsch is our affordable housing attorney, and we don't have anybody assigned to that project. To this day, right, Mr. Mayor?
We
don't have anybody-
already appointed,
No,
okay,
no.
just saying you got it wrong. If you look at the, you know, professional appointment in January, we already have two, you know, special counsel appointed.
But wait, all shots is appointed strictly.
No, not the,
Okay, so
no,
let me
not
finish.
the heritage, you know, affordable housing, you know, the council member, we applied, we appointed, okay?
It also goes on.
We already have it.
That, you know, that I already mentioned about, you know, specifically than Mr. Wunsch, which it wasn't. I made a mention that all of our attorneys, we're gonna pay one, we should pay them all the same
Said
thing.
only Wunsch.
And then she also goes on to say about a potential conflict that was raised by Cole, that 800 Sylvan raised as a conflict with Cole Schatz, and she goes on in her piece to say that Cole Schatz successfully defended, or the Farrington agreed with Cole Schatz that they were not going to, you know, they didn't have a conflict. Where if anybody reads the transcript, which we have, within the first 5 minutes of the hearing, Cole Schatz, the attorney, clearly said that it was not an issue, okay, because the judge asked it, so there was nothing that went before the judge. Cole Schatz didn't defend any position, that it was never even brought up, okay? And then she says that, this is a big one too, because there's a whole thing about how she made a statement about how Mr. Wunsch, and reflective of us in our administration when we were there, is that Mr. Wunsch also let the discovery time pass for 800 Sylvan. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Bernstein was our attorney of record, and he did nothing. And then after him, it was Mr. Dasty. And Mr. Dasty, the court opened up a time frame between October 14th, and this is all in the court, okay? Miss Geiger knows that, but she puts out Eye on the Cliffs and says that, so between October 14th and December 13th was the discovery period. And you know who else didn't do anything? Our favorite guy, Mr. Dasty, who you refused to terminate. He's the one that never asked for discovery. But now all of a sudden, because everybody's got, you know, a vendetta to pick with Mr. Wunsch, is that he's the one that let the discovery. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Dasty did nothing. And if he would have done his job, we would have never even had to hire Cole Schatz. Okay? That's what I have for Ms. Geiger, but I do have a question. I mean, Mr. Barbario, there was a pre-construction meeting with the Michaels Group on March 22nd. I was sent an email with an invitation, and then a few hours later, sent an email that it was canceled. And I'd like to know why, since the meeting actually went on. First off, Mr. Kim, Councilman Kim raised the issue about, did we make a public meeting notice of this meeting?
Mr. Mayor,
And
I can answer that.
Your reply was that, this is not one of our counts, this is not a borough meeting, this is the Michaels meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Then all of a
Mr.
sudden,
Mayor, I
get
received
an
the
email.
same.
I'm not done, I have the floor.
I received the same email as you did.
Okay, just, okay,
And
finish.
I would like to know why.
Okay, just answer. Okay, go ahead,
Let me
and then,
finish, and then Mr. Barbario can answer
yeah,
my
okay,
question.
please make it simple,
Why did we
okay?
get a cancellation notice when the meeting actually still took place?
I was afraid that the council was going to violate and too many members were going to show up, and I did it to protect you guys.
I got the same, Mr. Luciano. I got the same email as you did. The meeting was underway, and I figured that that's the exact reason why I received that email, because we don't want to break OPMA.
It wouldn't have violated OPMA. This was their meeting, and we were going to listen to their presentation. That's like saying, just because I'm an elected official and I want to go to a meeting that.
Okay, we don't need a lecture from you. Let's move on.
Don't tell me.
I'd like to.
Okay, that is by the law. We
I'd like
can't
to-
put on the,
Motion
My
to,
understanding that there was a meeting.
motion to move 24-95.
yeah,
Do I have a second?
yeah, okay.
Motion,
What?
motion to move 24.95. You'll have your time later.
No.
Motion to move 24.95. Resolution appointing Gino Tercero as full-time construction official.
Okay,
You've had
finish
plenty of
5
time.
minutes, okay? Within 5 minutes. That is not your time, whole thing. You council member, you want to talk to all night? You want to talk to all night?
There's somebody trying to.
If you don't finish about 5 minutes, I'm gonna stop it, okay?
Okay, we'll see.
It's okay, 5 minutes.
We'll see.
Okay, just keep 5 minutes, okay?
Melanie, have everybody in.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Listen, you had supposedly, it's my understanding, because we hear everything from the public, that there was a meeting with the Geigers in your office. And I just want to know what the meeting was about and why it wasn't included in your weekly report.
When was the date? What were you talking
I don't
about?
have a date, because naturally I'm, and I mean,
I-
maybe you
I
say I
can't-
didn't have a meeting with them.
I can't recall any meeting with the Geigers.
You never had the Geigers in your office. Okay. Okay.
Why are you
I
so
also
concerned
think
about
Five
that?
minutes.
Why am I worried about that?
Yeah.
5
Because
minutes,
when I
5
came
minutes.
in the council, when I came in the borough hall, Mr.
Barbario
Barbario
closed the door on us.
Oh,
That's why.
well, maybe it was private.
I don't know.
I was on a phone call.
Okay.
Okay,
But today I let Miss Simon in, no problem.
I'd like to
No, it
know
wasn't
why-
me.
Oh.
I just got a text from someone,
Oh.
a resident,
Okay,
who's been in the waiting room
okay,
for 10
please,
minutes.
that is just a minor one. Why don't you move on another one?
I don't have
Okay,
it. No.
done?
You can come see, I don't have it. It's not on the
That
screen.
in the waiting room.
That's all I
that
can
the
tell you.
councilwoman is
she's got the
raising.
Zoom link.
I know you
She's
want
got
to
to
go
click it.
home, and I know you don't want to.
No.
Okay, I make a motion,
5 hours last time.
motion to move 24-95, resolution appointing Gino Tercero. Do I have a second? Do I have a
You
second?
don't run the meeting, so calm your jets, okay?
Do I have a second? We're moving
Okay,
on.
just a second, okay,
Why
2
can
minutes.
we never get reports from the CFO on time? I sent Mr. Barbario an email and asked him specifically, as the administrator of our borough, that this has been going on. I raised it at the last meeting. We never get the reports on time. As a matter of fact, we got probably, I got a revised agenda today after 4 o'clock. So when we said last week that, everything was gonna be done by Friday, it doesn't happen. But the CFO, who we've asked repeatedly for months and months and months to give us reports on time, I send Mr. Barbario, you an email, Mr. Barbario, and what do? You forward it to the CFO.
To get
And
him
all
to
I
give
asked
you
was
the,
for you- All I asked from you is.
but Glenn,
why
I
you
did
go-
that so that you could get the
Let me
report.
finish.
No, you can't. I'm talking now.
No, I have the floor, and you don't talk until I'm.
You're done, Mr. Luciano. Let's move.
By the way, we cannot, the CFO was not rights noticed.
24-95.
The CFO
Do I
was
have a
not,
second?
the CFO was not rights noticed.
I'm asking about, okay.
Do I have a
asked the
second?
Borough Administrator.
Just let him
about
keep
an
on talking.
employee
Can we move the meeting
who
along?
hasn't
He can keep
been
on
providing us
babbling.
information,
Rivka.
And I'm told that my
I'm
email
gonna- I'm
was
making a
forwarded to
motion.
that employee. When David.
Move
complained-
24-95. Do I have a second?
Did they go to the employee and ask the
We're gonna
employee?
table that.
That's his job to move the employee.
And that's my question. If it's
He's
his
a
job-
manager.
Your time is
Resolution.
off.
Then it's time.
Your time is
Resolution.
off. Let's move on to,
With the CFO, why?
Move on next
why
item
did the
to-
CFO provide
what
us
is,
minutes
motion to
at the
adopt
same time?
resolution.
Resolution.
You know what? I don't care, Mr. Mayor. I'm gonna still talk if that's what you
Second.
think you're gonna do to me.
95.
Okay? Mr. Mensch, I have a question.
Resolution
We asked for Miss Asbury to be here
Do I have a second?
last week.
Do I have a second?
We asked Miss Asbury to be here. We repeatedly asked for you to invite her here, and I want to know why that you reply to us that you have to check with the mayor.
So hold on a second. First of all, I want to make sure everyone understands. As council members, none of you have any authority to do anything unless it is with a group. So nobody has the authority to demand any professional appear here unless you vote as a group. I take requests from council members. The mayor is the mayor, different than council members. Okay? Mayor runs the meetings.
Yes.
So my point is, nobody has the right to demand that a professional who incurs fees to the township come here. If you all want to vote on whether you want a professional to come here, you can do that. Okay? The council as a whole, and this goes for tons of different topics. I'm talking to Mr. Luciano at the moment. It's not limited to him. All of you need to understand, there are not 7 individual mayors in this town. There is one mayor, and there's a governing body that can only act through the will of the governing body, which is what you do when you vote. You passed a resolution last week about putting names on resolutions. Councilman Kim had one. You passed a resolution at the beginning of the year, or end of the last year, about reports from the administrator. Those are how the governing body, as a council, uses its executive authority. Okay, so as a starting point, that is how we do this. Second of all, at council meetings, there is not an unlimited right for council members to talk on any topics that they want. This is not a free-for-all for 5 hours that is unlimited. Robert's Rules does not give you an opportunity to unlimitedly speak on any number of topics. That goes for everybody.
Okay, thank you. But Mr. Mensch, my question really being is that tonight we had an engineer here and we asked him, who invited you here? Because the council as a whole didn't invite him here.
But
So
you-
wait, please. There was one person that asked him to come. That was the administrator. Now, we didn't demand of you anything. We requested of you to invite Eileen, Miss Asbury here because as we spoke of last week, okay, there's almost between a resident, Miss O'Shea, and between Mayor Kranjak, there's almost been $1 million worth of penalties and fees, okay, that Miss Asbury has been handling. And I've mentioned it to every single one of you that you should all want her to be here. As a matter of fact, Miss Councilwoman Begat said last week, she doesn't even know who Miss Asbury is. And we've spent $1 million between Oprah's and Mario Kranjak violating, and as a matter of fact, once again, Ms. Geiger doesn't say anything about an eyes wide closed on the cliffs. That, you know what? The mayor's been referred for criminal charges and ethics violations. That's not related. So I want to know. Then I make a motion that I'd like to make a motion that we invite Miss Asbury to the next meeting to update us on what's going on with this lawsuit. Because you know what? It was important this week because you know what? I think tomorrow or the next day, there's a court hearing with Miss Asbury. And I'm very surprised after, you know what? The mayor's not this mayor, please. Former Mayor Kranjak's being fined $11,000 a month. Okay? And we're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to have to go through all of his emails that he lied about. 1,100 on one email account. And these council members Yeah, 1,100 emails that he certified and said he didn't have any, that they discover 1,100 emails that now we've paid an attorney hundreds of thousands of dollars to go through these emails. As a matter of fact, we asked for the mayor to be charged this personally. He's being fined personally, but the court said, no, you know what? We're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you want, the council as collectively can go after him personally. But you know that that's him banging the gavel. Aren't going to go after the mayor because he was part of the problem.
Okay, I want to read the resolution number 24-95. Resolution appointment of Gino Tesaro as a full-time construction official. I need a motion.
Motion.
Thank you.
Motion.
Okay, roll call, please.
Discussion, Mayor?
What one is this one?
Discussion?
2495, Gino
was the second,
Tesario's.
please?
I thought we were gonna table this.
Okay. No. It's a,
No, this we're not tabling.
No,
no, not.
24 I moved
Discussion,
it.
discussion.
Okay, a
Okay,
second?
I got first and second,
Okay, good.
Roll
Yep.
call, please.
right?
Discussion, please. Mayor, can we have discussion on this issue?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
hear
Yeah, I had an opportunity to meet Mr. Tesoro this past week. I find him to be a very professional person. But under the contract I had also opportunity to look at his contract. How many hours a week is he going to work under the contract?
So it's during Monday through Friday, it's 31 hours and 2 hours on Saturday. So it's 33 hours, Councilman Kim.
Okay, and how much is he getting paid under the contract?
The contract is for 165 annually.
Okay.
And does he still have the right to work in Norwood?
Yes,
That's not what we agreed to.
yes.
That would be his right to work in Norwood.
Okay, roll call, please.
I have another thing, the 3-year contract. I think we had a conversation, that we said if, Mr. Tesoro is gonna keep his job, if he wants to keep his job in Norwood, we should not give a 3-year contract. This was the, I think that what we spoke, and we
Last
listened
week,
to,
and this is
yes.
part of the problem that we don't have
Matthew?
any communication.
But I do think that
Gino was right.
what was not,
Yeah, he was right, so they can't
Yeah.
do
It's
this.
So-
totally ridiculous.
So,
Well-
hold on. So, if we're going to discuss the terms of the contract or any negotiations, we need to go into closed session to discuss it.
I see.
So, but you can if
Tried
you,
and we were rushed out of closed
Well,
meetings.
I-
We were rushed. I tried to
Okay.
address it in closed session.
so
And they
if-
opened the door and came in.
if
everybody could hear you.
if there's a vote, there's a motion and a second, if you want to, make a motion to go into closed session to discuss this right now, we can. If you want to make a motion to table this right now and do closed session again at the end, you could do that. If there's not a need to go to closed session and you want to just have a vote, you can also just have a vote.
Who's the motion, who's the second?
No,
Mo-
it's okay.
Who
Hold
made the
on,
motion?
Well,
Uh,
wait a
hold
second.
on, hold on.
So
Di
Mo-
Gregorio made the
David
motion
made the motion and
and Rivka second.
He was right.
He was right. That's right. That's not the
Okay.
issue.
yeah, we can
What
vote.
I'm saying is if
Okay.
the motion
Okay.
is second or
Okay,
rescinded,
you wanna
we
say?
can wait and do this after.
Can we call the question?
We do everything else before.
You want to call the question, vote? Take a vote?
It's right, so
Okay.
it's enclosed. I'm just saying if we want to, since everybody wants to run home and put their head on the pillow instead of doing government
Oh,
business,
stop it already.
let's
Joey Mouse.
remove the motion and the second and come
No,
back to
we
this.
already got the
We
motion.
have motion in a second.
Vote.
Call the question, please. Let's take a vote.
Take a vote.
Member Kim,
You're voting on
Yes.
yourself?
member Simon,
Come back to me.
member Luciano,
Yes or
What
no?
are we voting on?
On the
Yes or
contract.
no?
On the contract.
2495, resolution appointing Gino Tesaro as full-time construction official for Inglewood Cliffs Borough.
Under this contract.
Come back to me, please.
Councilman Di Gregorio,
Yes.
member Begats,
No.
okay.
So you guys don't listen?
Member Liang?
Let's talk about this in close before it comes out and we have to do this.
Member Simon,
What were the votes so far, please?
3 in favor.
Councilman Kim?
Said yes.
Councilman Di Gregorio?
Said yes.
Yes,
And Councilman Liang?
Yes.
yes, it's motion passed.
That's
Yes.
a 3-year contract, good for you.
Yes.
I'm asking Member Simon to,
Yes.
to vote.
She said
She said yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
No,
And,
I did not say yes.
oh,
What I mean, the yes means.
No, I was
Still waiting,
giving
still
the,
waiting.
who said yes to the motion,
Oh,
not
okay.
to the,
There's-
I'm going to have to abstain on this.
okay.
I'm not.
Member Luciano?
sure What this calls for.
Listen, I like Mr. Tesoro. I think he does a good job. I think if you heard anything, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the crappy process that we have here, that all this should have been taken care of before. For us to have to prove this and David to ram it down our throats, and then to have a councilwoman who clearly stated exactly what I was trying to get out in closed session that we were talking about, you know what I mean? And I have a problem because it seems to me the contract that I got isn't the final contract. Because I only had Monday through Friday, know nothing about Saturday, so that's part of the problem. No communication during the
Good
whole
pass.
month, and then we come here and have to look like idiots.
Okay,
I'm gonna
stop,
okay,
please.
okay.
Let's
Excuse
move
me?
on. Let's move on.
So what?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Mayor,
This is
Kim?
what we
Yes.
go through. It's amazing.
so it passes 4.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Resolution number 24-103, resolution authorizing government management advisors LLC and assigning
Motion.
Thompson Chin to provide
Motion, Mr.
temporary
Mayor.
municipal clerk service. I need a motion.
Thanks, Gino.
Motion.
Okay, Gino.
Okay. Motion.
Motion, yes, motion.
Motion for what's your motion?
24-103.
24-103.
Who's the second?
The mayor made us leave.
You got a motion?
Yeah.
I'm second.
Second.
Second, Liang?
Okay.
103.
103. Roll call, please.
So can we?
Member Kim?
Mayor, can you, I have no discussion, right? I'd like someone to discuss and tell the public what happened with this. Why, because this
How
is,
did we get
because
here?
I was told this was already someone that has already worked, right,
Without council approval, without anybody's approval, they've come in, well, I guess with the administrator's approval, they've come in and work, and now we're going to ratify what they've already done.
Okay, I will answer for you.
Are they still working going forward?
Okay,
Are they
I will
still
answer
going-
for you.
Okay, let me finish. Is this something that they're going to be continuing working? Is this something that we owe them for a couple days that they already worked? These are all things that I don't know anything about, and I'm dang sure that the town doesn't know anything about. So if someone can explain that to us before we vote, I would greatly appreciate that.
I would love to explain it.
I didn't ask you. I want the mayor to
Well,
explain it. to
I
me.
Yeah,
will
okay.
explain it.
I already mentioned about the closed session to run smoothly our administration job. Administrators have that authority. We got this advice from the labor lawyer. That's why we did it.
Great.
Okay, roll call,
Call the
please.
question.
Member
And you
Kim?
are accepting that, right, Mayor?
Call the question.
Member Kim?
Okay.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Passes,
Thank you,
Mayor.
pass. Okay, 24-104,
We didn't know.
resolution appointing
You didn't
Jerome
share
Fabio as a temporary election certified office. I need a motion. 24-104.
Motion, Mr. Mayor,
104.
to move resolution appointing Jerome Barbario as temporary election certifying
Yes.
officer.
Is that still in force, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Until when? Is there an end date?
Come back the
Today is
Laura,
the,
right?
today is the end.
When is?
Today's
when-
the last day.
Today's the end of the anyhow.
So you mean at midnight tonight, it's over?
Okay.
So we're doing it for 4 hours?
Call the question, please.
Well, no, you gotta make a vote on the call. You need a second, and you need to vote on the call.
Okay, roll call,
Thank
please.
you.
Don't waste time.
Member Kim?
Will the
Wait, what about discussion?
will the minutes accurately reflect that this resolution ends today or after
It
the
says it-
upon
it
the
says it
end
in
of
the
this meeting?
resolution.
Okay.
Chris, it says it in the resolution.
And
Got it.
I have a question too, because what I thought last meeting, as our attorney pointed out, that there was a resolution to identify on the agenda who's moving forward with these resolutions. I don't see it anywhere in the resolution. I don't see it anywhere on the agenda. So what happened to that from just a week ago? That every motion going for, every resolution going forward that is on the agenda not just brought up at the meeting. So can someone explain what happened with that? Because we know that even the other things about everything was going to be to us on Friday, the week before, when we're still getting agendas of the day of the meeting, seems to just fall by the wayside. So I'm very curious about what happened to the resolution only a week old.
This is not normal circumstances. You have to understand the truth.
No,
What
what?
happened here?
What?
You are gone, the whole
No, no, no.
thing, you know,
But
that's why.
that has nothing to
It's- yeah,
do. The issue
the
is
question is
who's
the-
bringing forward the resolutions. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what happened to anybody else.
Because this is the law passed last time, correct?
Excuse me?
The law passed to put the names in the
Right.
next meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so they didn't have a chance. Whoever did it, I don't know who did it, okay? Law did not do it.
That's my question.
No
It doesn't,
question.
it doesn't matter
Okay,
who did it.
Happens,
Okay.
things
It happened, oh, okay.
Happens, not normal circumstances.
Ladies and gentlemen, things happen. The answer is things happen, so that's it.
Drama. Wait,
Okay,
you.
so-
Enough.
Yeah, things happen.
Drama.
So let's,
Member Kim, I'll reflect. that
follow the
it's
law.
In the minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A fire call?
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Abstain.
Okay. Member Luciano?
No.
No. Member Di Gregorio?
yes.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
It passes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. 24-105 is 5 is tabled, right? Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay, next
So
item.
do we need a motion to table it?
You can do a quick motion.
Okay, motion to table 24-105.
Second.
All in favor?
What is that?
It's the
Oh,
table
about-
Table 7 of
24-105.
Avenue.
No, it's the resolution regarding the designation of an area in need of redevelopment.
Okay. We need to-
Mr. Mayor?
Member Kim?
Okay,
Yes.
Member Simon?
What are we voting on now?
Tabling 105.
Can you clarify to me what that is?
It's the resolution directing the planning board to ask to see whether or not 700 Sylvan Avenue would satisfy the designation of an area in need of redevelopment.
The building that was just totally redone 5 years ago.
Right. That resolution is being tabled. That's the motion.
To table it?
To table it,
I'm
yeah.
in agreement.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mayor Luciano?
Aye.
Councilman Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Pass? Yeah.
before we move on, I'd like to make 2 motions.
Okay, yeah.
And the first motion will be, and I believe that I represent the people of the borough, and I believe that the borough and the council must represent the decency of the people of Englewood Cliffs. Therefore, I make a motion to remove the OAL that has been lodged very unfairly against our former borough administrator and borough clerk, Lizette Duffy. I feel that it was, there is evidence that it was unfairly perpetrated, and that to hold that over a person, I believe, is tremendously unethical. So I make the motion, as I stated, to remove the OAL against Ms. Lizette Duffy. Second? Okay, so can we call?
Discussion.
Discussion, okay, go ahead.
So
I think it's
I,
terrible.
I'm sorry. I just would.
We know your position.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure, I don't know where the votes are going to go on this. I just want to remind the governing body that, one, we've discussed this in closed session. The last time that this came up, the governing body was waiting on some information from me.
Yes.
That has not been procured yet.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that, A, if the council moves forward, that with this vote, one, if it's in the affirmative, that you have not done that with getting the rest of my advice on the topic, because I'm going to put out there that I want to make sure it's very clear on the record that if you move forward with it in the affirmative, that the information that I had suggested you have first has not been received. And if you decide to move forward in a negative, or you decide not to have the votes on this, I would caution everybody that anything that is said in public, as we all know, people watch these transcripts. They use comments that people say for or against you that can be used in court for or against you. So that's my advice on the record in public. To the extent you want to discuss it further in closed session, you can.
Yes.
I don't have anything further to add to the conversation that we had at the last meeting on this topic, other than I'm waiting for the information that we discussed.
So I guess we should table it.
Well, you should, if you want to do that, then the proper procedure is to make a motion.
Well,
There was a motion and a second on the issue.
She just made a comment about tabling. I said, if you want to do that, you have to make the motion. That's all I said.
Motion to table.
I had a
He does have
second.
a second.
Motion to-
I have a second.
Okay.
Motion and a second, so we have to call the question, I think.
Yeah, but unless you do a motion to table, which I do.
Yes.
Okay,
Motion
so
to table.
there's only one, so.
She doesn't have a
Do you have a
second.
second? There's no second for the motion to table, so move on.
Okay, so
Call the roll.
Mayor, you ready?
Yeah,
Call the
right.
roll.
Member Kim,
No, not at this time.
Member Simon,
Yes.
Member
Aye.
Luciano, Member Di Gregorio,
yes,
Member Brigats,
No.
Member Liang,
Abstain.
abstain.
I think that
3-2,
passes.
Mayor.
There is,
So it passes.
that is
Yep.
passes.
Motion carries.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion at this. Oh, David, did you have a second one?
I have a second one.
Please be free.
Okay, so I'd like to put a little teeth into the integration of technology in the borough. So I did have a conversation with our borough administrator and also had a conversation with a representative from Ocean Computer. He had mentioned that he can set up files for each matter that we consider. So in other words, we set up a file that would have all the resolutions in it, if there are any updated resolutions, and it's a file that we all have access to. So if there are any updated resolutions, you put them into the file, and it's a constantly updated folder. The same thing we can do for the bill list. We had a question that nobody's looking at the bill list. We should also have, as the bills come in, and I believe that our CFO mentioned that he was going to be complying with that, move those into a folder. And I also had a short discussion with our borough attorney that for certain folders, let's say our legal bills, that we require our attorneys to send us 2 copies of bills, one redacted and one not. The redacted version will go into that folder that's titled legal. And in order to save our borough clerk and others, for Oprah, we would just refer our Oprah request to say it's already in this folder, public, and we would simply send the email or the web address as to where that information can be found. It offers more transparency, it saves a tremendous amount of work, and it keeps the council updated minute by minute. The minute an invoice comes in, we can see it. The minute a resolution is created, we can see it. The minute we have our agenda, we can see it, but then it can be modified. And I believe we can ask that if it is modified, that a message goes out to all of those that have rights to that folder. Once it's set up, it's easy to operate, and I believe it's on the side of good government and good and efficient government. So I make a motion in that respect. I guess I don't know how you want to handle that, Mr. Mensch. Do I need to list that out, what we need to do, or?
If wasn't involved.
It's minimal, and we already
What does
have,
minimal mean?
we already have a subscription to Microsoft Teams. It's just a question of setting it up. So I would imagine if they charge us or if it's included, but Teams was like $20 per council person or less to have. Now we have access to the whole Microsoft suite of Microsoft Word. We have
Do we need this kind of small
PowerPoint. So
option? We need it to what this one?
So
This is just we can adapt our kind of a procedure, right?
So if we make a motion, a resolution, that would really basically put a little teeth into moving this along, and I believe make the life easier. So basically, let's say the motion is to direct Ocean Computer to set up various files with various rights attached to each file and labeled accordingly. So it could be, as I had just mentioned. I don't know if I need to get more detailed into that.
No, I think if the council wanted to move forward in this direction, I think you would pass a resolution. You know, the resolution would be generally to direct the administration to pursue setting that up, whatever that entails, in terms of, you know, if it's a de minimis cost, it's not an issue. It would be below the normal kind of threshold of you know, something that wouldn't even rise to the level of requiring approval. If for some reason there was a cost that was over the normal kind of, if it was $25,000, it would have to come in front of you. If it's $250, it wouldn't come in front of you for approval. It would be
I
done.
believe this is, we have a do not exceed with Ocean, so it probably
Right.
is going to be inclusive.
Included in
within
that, right?
Yeah.
And so that would be the direction would be for the administration to set it up and establish a process by which that is established. It would, just to be clear, from a practical standpoint, it probably would not be instantaneous.
It could be.
But
It's very quick, could go very quickly.
Yeah.
Just viewing?
Just viewing, we have to set up the permissions of each folder precisely. So in other words, the public would be just viewing, obviously. The council, I would say just viewing, but the borough administrator and the clerk would be editing also.
Well,
And the attorney probably.
Okay, you know,
David,
yeah, no,
yeah.
I think,
Where I see it.
Yeah,
because I
David,
work-
I was going to say on the issue of public, I definitely do agree that there would be concerns because, as you all know, we edit drafts sometimes closer to meetings than council members would like, but there are times when resolutions are being. I'm agreeing with you, Glenn. There's so we don't want to have a situation where public's looking at an early version, council members are
Right.
commenting, we're editing them, and it becomes an issue.
So point well taken. I think we should go step by step, and then we'll talk about that maybe in a future meeting. But this meeting, I think we should direct our Ocean computer to set up those folders.
Okay, I think
So
we don't need
motion.
about the motion, so just the admin.
Do we have a
portion,
second?
We can do that, right?
Second.
Second, can we take a vote?
We can do it. It's
Okay.
$940 a year for the members of council.
Each?
No,
Total.
Total?
Total, the administrator, the CFO, the assistant CFO, and the clerk to have the capability right now.
great.
And this
Is that a subscription fee for
Yeah.
Microsoft
Yes.
365? Oh,
Yes,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
that's all right.
And-
All right, then, yeah.
And
Great.
Administrator, I would also ask that since my office edits stuff, I would want to make sure that we have editing and
Okay.
drop-in
So
capabilities as well.
Matt just put us over $1,000.
Sorry, guys.
So I have a first from Di Gregorio and a second from Councilperson Brigats.
and we did have discussion, so can we call the question?
Member Kim?
Just to be clear, the motion is to approve or authorize Ocean Consulting to set up Microsoft 365 subscriptions for all council members and the borough attorney. That's the
And,
motion.
and with files, with specific folders containing, at the administrator's discretion.
It's the SharePoint,
The
correct?
share-
SharePoint, okay,
yeah,
the SharePoint
SharePoint,
pages,
exactly.
okay.
Right,
I'm sorry, I didn't have.
and share, that's
what-
good, and
what was
SharePoint
the
features.
administrator's discretion?
Share-
Which folders are set up? The actual folder
Oh, okay,
names
I
and.
didn't hear the whole
Yeah.
sentence.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Brigats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, Mayor passes.
Okay, Councilman Luciano, you wanted to do something,
I'll
right?
wait. We still have other things on the agenda, I'll wait.
Are you going to do later?
I will wait, we have other things on the agenda.
Okay, okay, let's move on to the next agenda 8. Okay, I'd like to announce the following appointment to the planning board. As you remember, JP Lee, we appointed his position is actually, what is the position is, I forgot.
Court of-
Zoning officer, yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, zoning officer. So we switched JP Lee and Maria Villari, and then member, class 4 and class 2, the same, term until end of this year. That I'm gonna, yes.
It's my understanding that the
Correct.
member 4 has to be, or
It has, the member 3 has to be a member of the government of our.
No, number
you-
4.
I don't think you could switch them and put
Yeah.
JP Lee needs to be, I think, the 2 members.
Yes,
as
it's-
part of the.
correct.
As part of the government here, he has to be a
Correct.
member. And
Two?
It's-
Laurie can be a member
Yes,
4,
there-
but it has to be the other way
What,
around.
what's listed on the agenda on the mayor's comments is what exists right now.
Okay.
It's
So
should,
anyhow,
it's
to
being,
switch
it's being
the
switched is
position.
what's happening. At the beginning of the year, Maria Valari was appointed as a class 2. JP Lee was appointed as a class 4, or he existed already as a class 4. Those are being switched
Yes.
because Mr. Lee is now a member of the government, so he has to fit a class 2.
Yeah.
Ms. Valari is not a member of the government, and therefore she would be on class 4.
Correction to something that
Yeah,
was
okay.
on-
Yes, switch the
Yes.
position.
Yes,
Okay, yes.
that's correct.
The current position. Okay. Okay, next agenda is, okay, we need a number 9 is still table 1. We need a motion?
Yes, since it's on the agenda, it would be a quick motion to table introduce, table ordinance 2403.
What is that?
For the, see, yeah, ordinance providing for the implementation of a 5-year tax exemption.
Number 9, yes. I
This
need a
would be
motion.
a motion to table.
Okay, I need a motion.
That's a motion.
In a second, okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, let's move on. Next agenda is number 10. Okay, okay, go ahead.
We're gonna have to wind up changing it.
Okay, number 10.
Payment of vouchers, I know last month there was a question.
Payment,
We're-
payment of
We
vouchers,
got one
we
more
have
ordinance
12.
first, Lynn.
Oh, yeah, we have a 10. Yeah, okay, wait, okay. Okay, we have another, bond ordinance 2024-02, an ordinance of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, providing for the roads surfacing and appropriating $700,000. Therefore, and providing for the issuance of $665,000 in bonds of notice of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs to finance the same. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second, okay, roll call, please.
We have to open to the public.
Open the public.
Open to the public, okay, sorry. No one, okay, close to the public.
Yes.
Okay,
Motion to close to the public.
okay, one second.
Hold on, we gotta make sure, hold on. The motion to open to the public has been made, correct?
Yeah,
And seconded. Right, so-
Public hearing,
right.
this ordinance,
So,
this ordinance only.
Was there an all in favor?
Yes.
No.
No?
yes,
Oh, I thought there was.
Who's running this meeting? I'm a
So,
little confused
so,
here.
so
yes.
there was an all in favor, or there is now?
I'm all in favor.
Aye.
Okay,
Once it's asked, I'll.
all right. I just wanted to make sure that it was very clear that we opened it and that it's very clear whether or not anybody wants to speak on this, so we don't have an issue later.
All right, so
with-
do we need,
No one is seeing, no one hearing, okay, I'm gonna do motion to close, open,
second?
anyone
Okay.
oppose or
Yes.
all in favor? Yes, okay. We need this one,
So right now, it's just guys, everyone calm down. This was just a motion for all in favor on closing the public comment.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. Now,
and then
Now- now it would be the roll call vote.
Motion to move the ordinance.
On the ordinance, right?
Do we need a second?
Okay, motion, I need
Motion
second.
and second here.
So who's doing the motion?
I did the motion and Philip Liang, Councilman Liang,
Thank you.
did the second.
Okay, thank you, all in favor?
No, that would be a roll call.
Roll call.
That'd be roll call.
Okay,
That'd be roll call.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Brigats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Passes, Mayor.
okay, thank you. And the next agenda is
Before we do the.
payment of vouchers, right? Okay,
Recognized?
yes,
I know last month there was a
question about mileage or, reimbursement, but didn't necessarily see it on here. Can someone tell me, because someone who was ever recreation or finance was supposed to come back and inform us about the charge for reimbursement on mileage and what it was for? Did we ever get a response to what that was for? And for that amount of money, was it for the full year? Was it for 1 week? Where are they going? Since, I forget the exact number right now.
$189.
Whatever it was, at 47 cents a mile, it seems pretty,
It's not on the bill list.
like I said, I'm not sure if it's on the bill list. I want to know what happened to it. Did we get an answer to it? Was the answer that, okay, I don't want to answer it, so I'm going to not request reimbursement. I just want to know what it was for, how long it was for, why was it removed, as you're clearly pointing out, that it's not on the bill list anymore. Did finance chair or the recreation chair talk to them and find out, or our administrator, and if you could fill us in what it was about?
I asked the question of our CFO, and our CFO didn't provide me an answer, so it's not on the bill list yet.
Okay, thank you, sir. The second one is, there's a $500 payment for a dinner for recreation, it seems like. Does anybody know what that's about?
Is that the one to the bicycle club?
Yeah, $554.40 for a dinner. And I'm just curious who signed off on it, what's it for, and, maybe it's a valid reason, but I'm just, we see things on the bill list, and I think Councilman Di Gregorio is trying to alleviate some of this by adding those folders that we can look at them, but right now, we don't know. So, it's on the bill list, I go through the bill list. Does anybody know what it's for? Okay, with that, I would say that I would make the motion that we do not include that in our payment, have it removed from the bill list. And also, I'd like to remove any payments to Mr. Dasty. So that's my motion, to accept the bill list, less those two that I've just mentioned. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, that is, you want to combine together one motion?
It's the motion is to,
Remove both of those things from the
right.
list.
3 things.
No, the other one.
The other one they
I'm told
removed.
it's not on the list, so I'm gonna go with that I didn't see it. I have no reason to doubt our administrator that it was removed. I didn't see it as well, so I only have the 2. That's my motion, and there's a second.
Glenn, just so I'm clear, is your motion to approve the bill list minus those items, or is
Yes.
your motion to, okay.
I want to further amend the bills list.
Well, you'd have to make a second one and table this because.
Table, a motion to table this, motion to table.
Table what?
My motion.
Glenn's
motion.
Our
Yeah.
motion, because you seconded it.
Oh,
Because we want to make some more, I think more modifications need to be made to the bills list at this point.
So we need an all in favor of the motion to table Glenn's motion
We
to
need a
approve the bill
second
list.
first, Mr.
Okay.
Counselor.
I actually don't know if you need a second for motion to table, but if there's a second for motion to table, we could do it too.
Do we second motion to table? Do we have a second motion to table?
David,
Glenn's
why don't you propose your modifications?
Well-
Councilman Di Gregorio.
I believe that there's some concerns about some attorneys' bills, and I make a motion to, or I can't make a motion, but I think we should re-review the bills from, in addition to what Mr. Luciano said, of Mr. Wunsch also.
And what's your issues with it? Because Ms. Geiger said the 10, that every legal bill has a .10 increment of billing. I just want to understand what you're, besides Ms. Geiger telling you, or telling us that she thinks it should be tabled, what is your objection to it? Because I don't know who signed off on the bill. I didn't sign, I don't have a problem with it. I think that, you know what, there's been a lot of hyperbole about how much Mr. Wunsch made. There's been propaganda. Mr. Wunsch in 14 months was paid a little over $300,000, not $600,000. Mr. Mensch
which I have all due respect to, in the same amount of time, 14 months, got paid $330,000.
And that's
So
okay.
I don't understand,
That's
I don't have a problem
No
with it.
objection to that?
But you know what? We got the
Did the
Tate
work,
Way
you
done.
deserve to
We
get
got the
paid.
Focus Group done. We've moved a lot of things forward.
Okay.
So this hyperbole about how Mr. Wunsch made $500,000 or $1 million in the same 14 months, he got the same exact money as our borough attorney.
Well-
So what is your issue with tabling?
I do not have an issue. My issue is that they need to be gone under more further analysis and review. That we have a meeting in 2 weeks, okay? So if there's concerns by the resident and there's concerns that I have not been informed, and I'm sorry, I'm adding Mr. Wunsch's bills. Simple.
Okay.
He can,
What problem do you have with Dusty's
Wait, just so
bill?
our council and mayor are aware, these are bills that we tabled from the meeting 2 weeks ago.
okay. I'm
So
sure,
now
I'm
if
sure
we didn't
that
do
everyone can
anything,
wait.
This was the same stuff that was on the bill list from 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Now you're waiting till the night of the meeting because Ms. Geiger tells you she has a problem with the minute. It's the same thing.
Nobody,
I've pointed out this-
I have had some of the minutes and the bills, and I've looked at them and I've had very major questions. So I need to review them.
Okay.
I don't
it's,
need to answer any
very
more questions. Simple. No, I don't.
You don't have to answer questions. I'm a council.
Please,
Sorry.
please,
Okay.
Ask away, but I'm not going to answer.
okay, so please, pay attention, please.
It seems to me,
Is because I can't hear anything when I'm up
Okay,
there.
yeah, okay, got it. Okay, this is, okay, why don't you do that? It's very complicated. You know, separate them.
Separate the issue.
Separate each issue. That's a very simple.
Separate each.
It's very hard. Yes.
Lawyer, whatever.
Okay,
So, can we,
okay, you, first issue was, what was that?
There's a motion and a second on the floor, Mayor.
For what item?
The motion on the second right now is Glenn's motion to approve the bill list except for Dasty's bills and, I'm
The
sorry, I
Bicycle
forget,
Club
and
dinner.
the Bicycle Club dinner.
Club, whatever.
David wants to also remove Mr. Wunsch's bills. He made a motion to table.
mhm.
I'm not sure why we can't do a motion to amend, but doesn't matter. Fine. Motion to table. There was no second to David's motion to table.
Correct, so now we're.
Oh, there was no second?
Hold on.
There was-
No, there wasn't, but you can ask again.
We can do it. So is there a second on the motion to table?
Yes.
Okay, so let's have a vote on David's motion to table Glenn's motion. That's what we're doing right now.
Member
Okay.
Kim?
yes.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay,
Passes, Mayor.
so now there is no current motion on the floor with regard to bills. So if somebody
I
wants to
will-
make a new
I'll
motion,
make a new motion, if I may, Mr. Mayor, to remove Mr. Wunsch's bills on this bill list for further consideration until the next opportunity we have to vote on the bill list.
and is it
Councilman Di
also to
Gregorio?
approve the rest of the bills?
And it's to approve the rest of the bills. Yes.
Okay, I need a second.
Councilman Di Gregorio,
Yes.
would you consider including Dasty's bills and the dinner in your motion?
I trust our athletic or our recreation director. I would prefer just to, that was the $500 that was in question. I trust that that's fine. That's what we have. That's why we have, we hire people. He's a resident. He's been the recreation director for a time. I have no reason not to pass that.
So you trust our recreation director, but
If
you
you
don't
want-
trust our attorney?
If you want to keep Mr. Dasty's for further review, I would be in agreement for that.
So to make that your motion.
Okay.
So let's keep,
Motion.
let's, a motion
second.
to,
Second.
yep, Okay, so,
What's the motion now?
all right, to be clear, the motion is to remove Mr. Dasty and Mr. Wunsch's bills on this bill list and for further review and for possible passage on the next meeting. That's my motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Table.
We can do that.
Make a motion to table.
All right, there's a, yeah, so now there's a motion and a second on Glenn's motion to table David's motion on the bills. So there would be a, make it easy, we'll do a roll call
We can do
vote
this all
on the
night.
motion to table. So
Motion to,
this is a motion to table David's motion on the bills, which was to pay the bills except for Dasty and Wunsch.
Yes.
Okay, so we'd have a roll call vote, Chair.
Member Kim?
Yes. Oh, it's a motion to table, you said.
Yes, motion to
Okay,
table.
apologize. No tabling.
So what do you want?
Member Simon?
Come back to me.
Member Luciano?
Table.
Yes. So Glenn?
Table.
Member Di Gregorio?
No to table.
Member Brigats?
Now I'm confused.
No,
This
it's
is to
no to table.
David's motion, which is to remove Al and Dasty's bills.
So in other words, if you, if
No,
it's,
Glenn's trying to table that.
that's, the case now.
we're,
Table
Glenn
one.
is,
on everyone. We're gonna
Glenn
go
is
home in a
trying,
second. We're gonna table
basically,
everything
Glenn
and
is
get
trying to
12 o'clock.
prevent me from having,
No, I'm trying to
Yes or
understand
no?
why you have
Why?
an issue only because Karen Geiger is
Guys,
telling you
guys,
to
we
have an
have-
issue.
we're in the middle of
I
a
heard
vote.
you in the room.
We got-
we're on a vote.
You
We're
were
on a
gonna make a
vote.
motion to table it
So
before
table.
the meeting. So you were on the phone with her in the council chamber telling her you were going to motion to table her his bill. It's not drama, it's facts.
It's
You
moving.
don't like
know how much
facts.
he was talking to- you know-
I know who he was
Enough,
talking to. He
enough.
came out and proved it.
It doesn't matter.
So-
Where are we?
We're waiting for
I don't
Councilwoman
understand.
Begets.
Rest of the
Councilwoman Begets, if you vote no right now, you'd be voting against Councilman Luciano's motion to table. Then, if that passes, if the motion to table is denied, then we would have a vote on paying the rest of the bills except for Dasty and Wunsch. So it would be a
Mr.
no
Mensch.
vote on the motion to table, and then there'd be a motion on the motion to pay the bills, except for the two attorneys.
Mr. Mensch, Mr. Mensch, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Ooh, I'm using the mic. I'll withdraw my motion to table.
If my second will withdraw her second of my motion. Listen, I don't agree with it. I 100% resent that, you know what, someone beside, this is something, then we should table Mr. Mensch's, we should not pay Mr. Mensch. This is the same thing. Mr. Wunsch has done work for us. He's been in
the same
court for us. But no, Dasty's been to court and done
Glenn,
nothing.
the discussion is
He's only
over.
done
We have a
emails.
roll
He's done
call vote on
emails.
the floor. We have a roll
Okay,
call
then
vote
go
on the
ahead.
floor. The
Okay,
discussion
then
is
you want-
over.
Go ahead,
Yes
go
or
ahead.
no?
I'll stay with my motion to table. I'm gonna table everything, Chris, if that's what you want.
We're gonna-
Get ready to stay here.
It'd be a,
No.
No, go back,
If you vote
go ahead.
to table, then.
I try to be considerate and withdraw it.
Not to get paid.
Exactly.
They have provided services
Okay,
to
so
this
say no,
town,
and that's it.
whether you agree with what they do or they don't.
Member Liang,
Rebecca, no.
I have for motion to
table,
table.
right, motion to table.
To table, motion to table, no.
Right, okay.
No?
So now,
So
the motion on the floor, which we would need a roll call vote for, is the motion to pay all the bills except for Mr. Wunsch's bills and Mr. Dasty's bills.
Okay, move.
Member
Yeah,
Kim,
Yes. Sorry about my.
member
that's my
Simon,
Yes.
member Luciano,
What are we voting on?
to
Pay
approve the bill
everybody but
list.
Wunsch and Dasty,
Why is that?
because David doesn't want to pay Wunsch.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't say I would.
Guys,
I
guys,
said
we're in a vote. We're in the middle of a vote, guys.
Gregorio,
Oh,
member
Okay.
Di Gregorio, this is your motion.
Your motion.
Yes.
Member Brigats,
Yes.
member Liang,
Yes.
passes, Mayor.
Gotta love it.
Okay,
So the bill list is approved.
okay, thank you, everyone. And I need a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second,
I-
Mayor.
I make a motion to table the adjournment.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay,
Again,
all in favor, right?
Aye.
Yeah,
Okay,
Favor.
thank you, everyone,
Thank
and
you.
have a good night.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, okay.
good. Yeah, well,
I'm much better off down here. I can't even anything.
Only 2 hours.
There's no reason why you can't sit down there all the time if you want.
I would like to.
Yeah, there's no reason why you
Just wait.
can't. It's just as long as, you know, you don't
Just
feel like
wait.
you're, having your back to people or,
Doesn't matter.
Don't put your stuff on mine.
Councilwoman too.
They think you like you make
Sit
mistakes.
down there on a regular basis.
Now, who's typing for you? Who's instructing you what to say?
No, if you don't know me by now, no one instructs me. My wife don't instruct me, okay? So if you think anybody's instructing me, you must be talking to David.
Care about people.
There's no one instructs me to do anything but what I'm doing.
It's really
Sometimes I know when
Just
I'm
him.
sitting, when I'm sitting down there.
Well, that's what the
I don't
attorney
always
used
like,
to say.
yeah. I don't always like that.
Takes his direction from Karen
Looking over
Guy.
my
I don't know
shoulder,
who's fit for
you know.
doing, I take my own direction.
There you go.
I don't care. I think by myself
I mean, you should give her a copy of the letter.
It'll be a letter, yeah, tomorrow, or whenever I get back.
Yeah.
And then I'll just give her a copy.
Oh, but I thought maybe-
But I'm gonna tell her now. What transpired.
Yes.
This way she doesn't have any questions about tomorrow.
And you can let her know that that's, there's no more, there's nothing.